folks, Captain Mike here. I'd just like to take you through my Inshore crate bag. Now I just want to say there are two ways you can utilize this bag. One with a milk crate, as you know, to create some structure and some rigidity to the bag. And the other way is just to fill the bag out with a series of hard plastic boxes. Now, just as an aside, I use the crate when I have fewer items. I use the crate inside the mesh bag for my tuna lures where I have fewer lures, they maybe weigh a little more, whereas my Inshore, I encounter more situations and I have a larger variety of lures in my Inshore collection. And so this video here is about the Inshore crate. So I'm going to lose the tuna version and walk you through my Inshore bag. Now, regardless of how you have this crate configured, I have a series of pockets here where I have everything I need. The center pocket's the deepest, and that's where I keep my different knives that I would want to bring. In this case, these are three sizes of hoagie fillet knives. I find I use a pair of scissors as much as I use anything else on a boat. These are just handy to have, whether you're cutting braid, bleeding a fish. I even use the scissors for pliers, split ring pliers, and I even have little braid cutters. And the nice thing about this bag is it's so full and lush, it just sort of stands on its own. And so yes, it's a bag, but it's also a tackle center. It doesn't weigh too much, but you know, it's definitely heavy, so it's not gonna like slide around the boat easily. And so it's just a nice system. It's like a day bag in the sense. You know, over the years I focused on waterproof bags, but this mesh bag is sort of like I also call waterproof, but on the other end of the spectrum. These are all gasketed hard plastic boxes. But you know, at the end of the day, when we're on a center console, like the vast majority of the time with hoagie filming, and I found I was sealing in water in my waterproof bags by leaving the waterproof bags open. So this just sort of solves that, because at the end of the day, when I'm done fishing, I seal up all my boxes. I just give the whole bag of hose, throw it in the bed of my pickup truck, and off I go. There's a combination of pouches and pockets on this bag. And on this side, it's a clear pouch. I have all my fluoro, different liters. I have 15, 25, and 30, I think there. Sometimes I go up to 40. Sometimes my fluoro wanders between my dash on the boat and the bag. I have these bigger gusseted pouches. They'll fit a bottle of water, your favorite beer, whatever, gloves. They're just handy pockets you could have. Another clear pocket pouch, and you know, now we're back to my rigging center. Every video we filmed this year and last, if it's an inshore casting or jigging lure, fits in this bag. And it's just a tidy little system. It has everything I need and nothing, well, almost nothing that I don't. And so I'm just going to take it from front to back. This first box I have here is my medium-sized popper box. My second box is my large popper box. I use the large poppers for casting for bigger fish, to cull out smaller fish, casting over structure, calling in big fish. I pulled out the medium box first. That's, you know, I probably use my medium-sized poppers more than any of the three sizes. And then my other popper box here, these are my little popper box. And you know, these I'll use more for schoolies and then bonito and albies later in the season. But between these three sizes, I have everything I need, whether it's early season, mid-season, late season, a big fish, little fish. I've got my popper situation dialed in between these three boxes. Next in line here is my slider and dog walker box. And you know, these are my search baits. I use my sliders to get subsurface a little bit, fan cast, cover some ground. Dog walkers, sort of similar deal, but on the surface. Dog walkers are great, you know, in super calm, flat calm days to cover some ground. Next in line here is my sop bait box. Now these are my bigger sop baits, and sop baits, it's a more tactical lure for me. If I'm using a sop bait, I know what I'm using the sop bait for, whether it's you know, sight casting to fish keating and squid or sand eels. You know, paddle tails would be my search baits. My eel tails are, you know, cast and drop for fish, particularly keyed in on sand eels. So these are my big sop baits. And here's my little soft bait box. This will have my slow tails and my smaller paddle tails. Get a lot of use of this box early in the season for schoolies, then a little later in the season when the bonito and albies come in. So my soft baits span 2 boxes, my big soft baits, my little soft baits, and moving further back, we've got the surface pencils. Actually here on the dock from filming a surface pencil video for bluefish today. These are great baits for long range casting, for casting in heavy wind. If you want to create, they're tractors. They don't really look like anything specifically. Granted, the pink and the bone sort of have squid hues to them, but they're great search baits. Then I actually, speaking of squid, I have my squid plugs in here. You can cast or troll these. But between stripers and blues and the rips, long range casting and tractors, this box, I can fish an entire season for topwater blues with the contents of this box. And then jigs, I've got this box. This has my heavier inshore jigs, my 3.5, 4.5 ounce jigs. Most of this box will be used for vertical jigging in deeper open water. My flutter pitch jigs, those are a little slower. My sand eel jigs, I'll fish those a little faster. And then my squino jigs, I view those more as a ground fish jig. The big stripers will eat them. And then my other box to balance with my bigger jig box is my little jig box. And this box is a mix of Hogy epoxy jig lures and also our smaller metal series, our heavy minnow, our smaller squinos, our smaller sand eel jigs. Everything in this box, for the most part, are casting jigs that I'm going to fish fast. I tend to use these for schoolies in the spring when it's windy for long range casting. Then again, this box becomes very important during bonito and albie season here. 3/4 of my albie trips, I could just go with this box and a spool of light leader. And so that's a handy box to have in there. Now, as far as ground fish are concerned, I have everything I need in here as far as jigs, whether it's a lighter jig or a heavier jig. I pair every jig I have with our beaky rigs. We filmed this season haddock, sea bass, scup, fluke, cod. Got it all with these beaky rigs, and so it's just as simple as popping on a jig from one of these small boxes, tying a beaky to one of my spinning rods, and we're in business. You'll notice in my videos I do a lot of rigging and re-rigging, and I have some unrigged soft baits. I always carry a box of rigging. I'll have assist hooks in there, back up for my jigs, replacement trebles, replacement inlines, bucktail hooks to make a larger profile lure, soft bait rigging. This box this can get me back in the game to re-rig. And then this box I call my junk drawer box, because anything I don't really, impulse buy at the tackle shop or whatever, but everything in this box I would say is sort of random. It's a big open box without compartments or anything. And this is just, those random impulse things, random lures that you see, whatever, you don't know what to do, but you want to bring them in. So I like to have a junk drawer box in my tackle bag. So, if I want to try something or whatever, I can just pop it in. But this bag, it's everything in here is pretty much my complete inshore system. I don't need any lure that's not in this box. And like I said, I've got little stripers, medium stripers, big stripers, bonito, albies, scup, sea bass, fluke, tautog. And the last thing in these pouches, I have my my jig beaky rigs, and those will I'll use those for the ground fish, paired with either my lighter or my heavier metal jigs. And I'm in business. If it's an inshore fish, I got it covered in this bag.